5, you fall under the same restrictions. If you don't use that player, then you send him, you send him back to that team, just like they were, part of the other team. So that's the other thing to keep in mind. But so he was a huge Rule 5 guy that the Marlins tried to sneak through, keeping him off the 40-man roster because of the well-known problems that we have talked about before in the past. But so I don't know. I would expect monster numbers. Now we'll just have to keep an eye on some of these guys. Interesting note though about the Rule 5 draft this year that you're gonna find. I found interesting. Now the Cincinnati Reds drafted a guy in the seventh pick from the Colorado Rockies. His name is David Patton, and David spent most of his season with Modesto, and his numbers. He was 4.5. He's a pitcher of 4-5 with a 3.54 ERA in 73 2/3 innings, 50 games he appeared. He gave up 8 home runs. He had 87 strikeouts, which is a pretty good, and with only 28 walks. Now the Cubs got him back from the Reds for cash. So I'm just wondering if this was just kind of a makeup deal for last year. You try to read the underlines in this, or why last year did they get Hamilton sent him to the Reds and the Reds sent him to the Rangers, and now this year the Reds, who had the worst record, draft this guy, and then they send him to the Cubs. You wonder how many of these backdoor deals are going on, or that may have been construed years or as part of a player to be named later. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird to figure that out.
Yeah, I think a lot more of that. I think a lot more of that stuff goes on than we realize.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. So anyway, so that's kind of a take on the Rule 5 this year. There's a bunch of other names. I'll just run down the list real quick for those of you who haven't checked it out on the internet. So we talked about Terrell Young, Reggie Corono, Everett Cabrera, shortstop, was drafted out of the Colorado Rockies organization by the Padres, number 3 overall. 4 overall, David Beal, Pittsburgh, drafted him from the Cubs, played with Tennessee last year. Lou Paul Misero, I believe, or Paul Masano, that's his name. He's a catcher, and he was drafted by Baltimore out of the Milwaukee organization, but then he was sent to Houston. So you wouldn't expect them to keep the catcher for cash considerations, of course. You see a lot of that going on. In fact, there's 3 teams that send players for cash considerations in the Rule 5. You see a lot of that for some reason in the Rule 5. And I'll just go over the top 10. We number 6, Luis Perdomo, right-handed pitcher from the Cardinals organization, drafted by the San Francisco Giants. We talked about David Patton, Kyle Bloom, out of the Pittsburgh organization, drafted by Detroit. And then Jose Lugo, left-handed pitcher from the Minnesota Twins organization, drafted by Kansas City, but then he was sent to Seattle for cash. And Benjamin Copeland, a center fielder from the Giants, was drafted by Oakland, and he played at Fresno last year. So that's the top 10. If you want to see more, it is available on MILB.com. You can also link to that from our site, MILBradio.com. So feel free to check out those guys if you want. So about 30 minutes left here, MILB Radio today. Our show time is just flying by as usual. I want to thank everybody who's out there in the chat rooms and listening online today. We're also on Newcaster, and my buddy Al Lupiani is back. He's up late tonight. I can't really get him. I've got 4 computers running, so I can't really get to him in the chat room, but I do want to say hi to him out there. Morning Sports Bite live on Newcaster.com. We're also broadcasting that there as well. So we have lots of ways to get a hold of us, though. You can jump in on chat rooms here and there. Let us know what's going on. You can give us a call, 646-652-2962, number directly to us. Like I said, we've got about 30 minutes left here on the wonderful show. I wanted to kind of switch things just a tad, and I think Elwood would like to see, and Elwood wanted me to mention that the Colts won their game. Oopsie-doo. The Colts won. Are you happy for them? Let's get a little happy for them. Well, we got to do that. There you go. Here you go. Colts won. So we're happy for them that the Colts won.
They beat a 0-13 team, barely.
So, nonetheless, I want to talk about something that is kind of cool. 646-652-2962. That's the number to get a hold of us if you'd like. Something that's weird. It's actually not cool. What am I saying? It's not cool. Something that could affect minor league baseball. That's why I want to talk about it. And I think this is something that I would find interesting. Did you hear the Arena Football League folded today?
Yes, I did.
I mean, you want to talk about the Arena Football League was the minor leagues for football. I mean, that was the NFL. I mean, we say that the colleges really, but the NFL has been trying for about the last 3 or 4 years. Actually, it might even be longer than that. They got an agreement with the Arena Football League, and they were going to kind of use it as their minor leagues, and they folded. They're gone. The NFL, I guess, they pulled their funding. I didn't read the article. I heard it just briefly today when that I was hearing it go by, and just so I don't know the details, but I just found it interesting because the Economic Times. We're talking about minor league baseball. I don't think minor league baseball is going to run into the same problems because we do have, that it does offer a secondary choice for people to go to, especially out in the sticks or wherever they live, to go and watch baseball, for a relatively cheap price. But it just kind of threw me. I'm wondering if you're going to start to see minor league teams fold, and you have seen some of these independent teams, these independent minor league baseball organizations and leagues fold. In fact, they, I think Comcast or Fox Sports Net or something like that, they did a show this past season. I think they followed a team out of in some league down in Atlanta. It was called the series was called Playing for Peanuts, and they followed this guy and his team down in Georgia somewhere, just south of Atlanta, and basically, just showed what these guys do because they're all former either number 1 draft picks or they're either either number 1 draft picks, guys who fell through the cracks, who ended up being sent for some reason to these independent leagues. And I'll give the number one more time because I guess I say it too fast. I like to talk fast. 646-652-2962. That's the number to get a hold of us here at the MILB Radio. 646-652-2962.